Hey guys, Everlasting Apex here. It's been a while and I have been hard at work with the new version of the app and it is finally ready. And as I release this video, the beta is going to go live on my Patreon. Be aware, this is a brand new code. It's coded from scratch. It's not an update to the old version. It's completely done from scratch. So the beta is going to take a while longer. We need to test for every single bug. So be aware that this beta test is going to last for a longer time than usual. Now, without further ado, let's take a look. Ta-da! Whoops, that's the old one. Ta-da! Here it is. I have rebranded the app to ApexRivals. It was suggested by TPLXXA on Discord, and I actually really like the name. So I have rebranded the app to ApexRivals. Now, this is what it looks like, and get ready for this, okay? Most requested feature right here, resizing the window. How about that? Most requested feature. Now, with this version comes a lot of good news and some bad news. We're gonna go over them as we go through the app. All right, so what do we have? This is the main menu, settings screen. Similar to usual, you just set your path for both games in here. Select your weather system, maximum cars per race, and duplicate skins for Assetto Corsa. DLC settings, same as before. I have all the DLC listed in here. Update databases. When you click it, the app is not locked down. It's just going to create database and then it's done. Much quicker as well. Then you have the theme. This is completely new. You can actually change the look of the app. Why is this not working? Hold on. Okay, there we go. You have two different themes, dark and light, and you can create your own. This is something also, I'm not sure why this is not updating. I'm gonna have a look at this. You can create your own. Right here, you can just set whatever colors you like and just... Oh, this is a bug. Okay, interesting. I just found a bug. Okay, I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, you're going to be able to create your own themes for the app. This is... yeah, I'm gonna have to go over this again. Then we have a setup guide right here. This is most of the main questions that people had when setting up the application, like installing second monitor, doing the second monitor configuration for exporting the results. Everything is in here, and that's going to help you get started with the app much easier than just asking on Discord and hoping that I reply. So most of the stuff is in here. I can update this whenever I like, so if there's more frequently asked questions, this is going to be updated over time. Now, create rivals. I now have folders. You can have folders, so if we open the folder, so if you just open the folder, you can just drop downloaded packs right here, and it's going to be added seamlessly to your career. Then it's the same as usual. You input the driver name, browse for the picture, nationality, and just create rival. Everything else is optional. Not much has changed. Now, good news. All the rivals that you have created for the old version are fully compatible. As soon as you import them in here and you start a career, it's going to take a little bit longer to start the career the first time, but all of your rivals are going to be converted to this new version. The bad news is that the old app resized the pictures to, I believe it was 90 by 90. This one doesn't. It sometimes will show bigger pictures like 150 by 150. The old rivals may look a bit pixelated because of this. It's not a big deal, but you know, if you want to have crisp images, you might want to redo them. Or just update the images. You can just drag and drop a new image file in there. Now, load career, same as before. New career, let's go over this. Let's just create a test driver. Nationality, same as before. Browse picture, same as before. The game, same as before. We're gonna go for AMS2 for this one. Career preset, we're gonna go for long seasons, no carts. Now, tiers behavior, what is that? Let me start with this. First of all, bad news. The tiers that you had created before are going to have to be remade. Everything that is in the cars and tracks databases for both Automobilista 2 and Assetto Corsa can be just transferred over. They're going to work. Cars and tracks will be able to be transferred. Everything that is the settings files and the tiers database, those are going to have to be remade. They're going to work differently with this version. There's a good reason for that. Now, what is this? Tiers behavior. Preset defined It works the same way that the old version of the app worked. So in the settings file, you have different divisions for each tier, and this is how the app is going to work. So if a tier has 3 divisions, it's going to make 3 divisions. That's it. Now you have fill by type. What this means is that there are different types of cars, right? There's open wheels, there's prototypes, there's GT. In the tiers files, you're going to be able to create different types of cars. You can have racing trucks, NASCARs, whatever. And what the app is going to do is that it's going to try to fit every single type of car for every tier. So tier 1 is going to have an open wheel division. It's going to have a prototype division. It's going to have a GT division, and so on. I have made Formula 1 and Indy cars their own special type. They're separate. They're not considered just open wheel. And then you have fill by family. This goes further. It's similar, but it goes further. In fill by type, GT3 and GT4 are both considered to be GT cars, so it's going to add one of them to a tier. In fill by family, they're considered different. What you can do with family is that you can assign, say, in Automobilista 2, you have GT3 and you have GT3 Gen 2. Those are both the same family. In Formula 1 Retro, you're going to have multiple different years of Formula 1 cars. Those are the same family. But Formula 1 Vintage, or GT4, are different families, so you're going to be able to have both of them at the same time. Hopefully I'm explaining this in a simple way. I'm going to make, of course, tutorials on how to mod so that you guys can play around with this. One thing to note, however, fill by type is going to make bigger careers than before. Okay, you're going to have more races and more divisions per tier than you would usually have, for the most part. Fill by family is going to get properly huge. Like, I put a warning in here, this could result in massive leaks. You could end up with tiers with like 7 different divisions. So that's about it for the tiers behavior. Over the course of the next week, I'm going to make proper tutorials and go through this if you want to understand more how it works. We're going to go through all of that. I'm going to get to work after the beta is out on the tutorials. For now, starting difficulty, same as before, just set a difficulty, whatever you like. Full experience to help people get an understanding of how it works. Still not possible on Automobilista 2. Please help me get Rise's attention on this. I cannot make this work if they don't make it work on their end. Race length, same as before. Player priority, same as before. You have the same as everyone else priority, spectate only, whatever. Minimum number of cars per class, this is new. Before, I believe we had... God, I can't even remember how it worked before in the old version. I think it was minimum 8 cars per class. Now you can change it. Now be aware of one thing. 8 cars per class, 4 classes means 32 cars in a race. Automobilista 2 has tracks with 32 grid spots, but remember there is a spectator car slot every single race. So you're going to have maximum 31 cars. If you want to have 4 classes, change this to 7. If you leave it at 8, you're only going to be able to get up to 3 classes. I still set to 8 by default, you can change that. Force random AI stats, same as before. Night races, bad weather, same as before. And simulate this many years before career start. Good news, I have managed to make this a little bit faster than before. So we're going to just simulate something real quick. So just Automobilista 2 long seasons. We're just going to set it to preset define for now. Full length, same as everyone else. Okay, so we're just going to simulate, let's say, 5 years. And while it simulates, I'm going to explain exactly how I made things faster. So here's what I did. Well, looks like we're out of time. Yeah, it's a little faster than it was before. This was not fast forward. Now, before you guys get worried, oh, you made it cheaper. You found a way to make it faster by making it less deep than before. No, this is just as deep as before, possibly even more. It's just way more optimized than it was before. The app runs so much faster in every aspect than it did before. Now, a few things are similar to what it was before. You have your panel right here, the top driver panel up here with all their stats. This is the new title type. So basically every tier you're going to get a title, like a newcomer for me, but also you're going to get special titles whenever you win a race or finish on a podium. And the title that you're going to have displayed is going to change depending on how impressive that title is. So this guy won 5 races in the Formula 1 Revival series. This is his title. There are more titles, but you do not get to choose which one is displayed. We're going to go over that a bit later again. Down here, I have my calendar, the date. Okay, so before it was displaying like Tier 1, Division 3, blah, blah, blah. Now it doesn't display that anymore. The leagues have actual names. Like this is a Touring Car Challenge League. This has a deeper impact than you might think. The multi-class is now decided by this. So whatever cars are under the Touring Car Challenge are going to be able to multi-class together, regardless of what tier they are on. Again, I'm going to go over that further in the tutorials that I'm going to make. And underneath here, you can see the classes that are being ran. So I'm in the TSI Cup. This is my race. And here you have all the upcoming races. And unlike before, before you only had this week displayed, now you actually have the whole thing. You can see everything, and I mean everything. All the races that have been generated for the entire year, all the way up to the end of the year, are displayed. Series that only last 6 months, for an example, are going to be displayed for the next 6 months. You can only see races that have already been planned. Skip buttons, same as usual. This time, instead of having just a skip button, you can actually skip only one race, or you can skip an entire week, month, or until you get to race. Before going into the race, however, we have career settings down here. This is new. You can just go in here, and you can change the settings for the career. Some of the settings, not all of them. And you have these little stats displayed here. The total number of active drivers and the total number of races simulated since the beginning. These include the pre-career simulation that we just did. So in the half a second that we simulated back there, 1,300 races have been simulated. And we currently have 360 drivers-ish in the, well, not ish, 359 exactly. And this might go up as the divisions fill up more. So here you have a good ballpark of how many rivals you actually need to fill out the career. There's driver list. We're going to go over this later on. We're going to go into a race first to display what's going on. Here you have a checklist. This is for Automobilista 2 only. This is before you had the annoying pop-up that said, hey, restart Automobilista 2, otherwise it's not going to be reloaded. Now you have this set list, right? It's this checklist. And it's going to remind you to restart Automobilista 2, start second monitor, and then a little guide on how to proceed with the app. If you go to race setup, new layout. You see your car. If you're not racing, it's going to be displayed up here. And you have track previews now as well. I am going to distribute the assets file on my Patreon as well. You're going to be able to download them there. And all the settings are displayed exactly as they are displayed in game for Automobilista 2. So you should be able to follow those pretty easily. Unfortunately, there is no way currently to set up a race quickly in AMS2. I would like to make it possible. It's not possible right now. If you host an online server, custom AI files do not work. So unless Ryza makes it possible, this is as good as I can make it. Then you can go to overview, and here you can see all the drivers. All the drivers you're going to be racing against. Their cars, their stats, their title, yada yada, everything is here. Now you may notice sometimes that say some drivers are going to be displayed differently than others, like this. This is just a window sizing thing. You can just make it bigger and make everyone on one line. And then we go to results. We're just going to pretend that I ran this race. Auto sort works the same as before. And now there's multiple ways. As you notice, there's no more annoying arrows. You have 2 ways of sorting manually. 1, drag and drop. Just drag your name or whoever else anywhere, and you can sort them. Number 2, you can just type in here, change your position like this. So hopefully this is less annoying than it was before, but for the most part, auto sort is going to do everything you need it to do. It works out of the box for Assetto Corsa using Content Manager, and using AMS2 you need to use the second monitor app. There is a link in the settings that we saw earlier, the getting started guide. You have a download link to second monitor in there. Now, save results. Are you sure? Yes. You have the option to adjust the difficulty like before. This was way too easy. And now you have this, results recap. You actually get a recap of how the race went. The positions, you can see the new title that we just got. They got the touring car podium, I got the race winner. And then you can see your stats before and after the rating change. Green if you won rating, red if you lost rating. And then we go back to career. And our season is over. Now, if you just want to skip one race, you can just skip race. Yes, skip a week, you can skip an entire week. And you can skip an entire month if we want to go to promotions. And this is the new promotion screen. Welcome to Tier 7s. These are the different leagues. So Copa Challenge, again, is going to be Copa Fusca, Copa Classic B, Copa Classic FL, and maybe more, I can't remember. And you can see right here, this is actually a multi-class race, Copa Classic B and Copa Fusca. And I get to choose from both. This car here is in Copa Fusca class. Those three are in Copa Classic B. I can race in both of them, and both are going to be at Tier 7. This is usually a Tier 8 class, but now you're able to multi-class together. You can also see the calendar of the upcoming races, their dates, the exact track you're going to be racing at, and I also have the option to race in the Touring Car Challenge, Caterham Academy. I only get one choice here, not a multi-class race. And for this one, I think I'm going to go with one of the Chevettes. I actually really like this car. I'm going to go with this one. So again, confirm, yes. And here we are. Our new calendar is up here. Everything has been updated for the new careers. Also, another thing that we couldn't see back there, but you will be able to see in the further tier, if you are not happy with the car selection, you can decide to skip a tier entirely. Now, we couldn't do this there because this tier that I'm in now is the lowest tier possible that is not the entry tier. But every tier after this, if the car selection is not to your liking, you can decide to drop down one tier to the next one. And here's the fun part. The AI can also do this. Your rivals are going to be able to skip a tier if they don't like the cars. They can drop down. You play by the same rules the AI does, always. If an option is available to you, it's available to them as well. Now, let's take a look at the driver list. Now you can see the leagues, the car classes being raced. If you click on them, you get this. All the drivers, their stats, their cars, and you get this little info button right here. What the hell is that? Let's look at Fuji McGee. Click on this, you get this. You get their name, their title, their ratings, and then you get some extra stats that you don't get elsewhere. Like this guy started his first race on May 8th of the first year, and this is the current date today, so we are year 6, February 1st. The highest tier he has reached, Tier 1, and then the greatest titles he has earned. This is all the titles that you can earn, and they are ranked by how important they are. Now, you do not get to choose which title this is displayed. Whatever title is considered the most impressive is the one that will be displayed. And then you get some special cars displayed. The most successful car, this is the one with which you have earned the most titles. So finishing on the podium, winning races, everything like that gets you titles. And then you get the highest rated car. This is the car with which you have achieved the highest rating you have ever had. And then you get the first car and the last car driven. Now, let's say I like this, I want to share it with someone. You have this button right here, export image. This is going to show you where it was saved in your documents folder. And here it is. It's just a PNG file that you can share with anyone you like. Now, there are some ways to customize this. Let's say I want this to be more of a vertical layout because I want to share it on mobile. Okay, here's a cool trick. You can just resize the window and just resize this however you like, maybe like this. And then just click export. And And here you go. It's now vertical. Whatever you see on screen right here is what you're going to get in the image. It's going to be the exact same. Now, let's say I don't like the Copa Uno right here. Up here you have some buttons where you can decide which cars to display. So I don't like the Copa Uno. I'm just going to remove it. Last car, not very relevant for what I want to share. Just going to check it off. And then let's say, okay, I actually use my real name here. And I don't want to dox myself. I just want to appear with another name to share it. Override name and just name myself Bob, David, whatever. There you go. I actually use my real picture. I don't want to use my real picture. I don't want to see what people look like. Replace picture with generic rival image. There you go. And now you can just export this, and what you see is what you get. Now these rival pictures are AI generated generic driver images. I am going to upload them to my Patreon. They're going to be completely free. It's just an assets file, just like the car pictures. You can just drag and drop and it's going to work. For the assets, you have Automobilista 2, Cars and Tracks. Those are literally taken straight from the game files. Then you have the country flags. Those are also taken, those are what are going to be displayed next to the drivers. Those are also taken straight from Automobilista 2. I don't claim any ownership over any of this. And then generic drivers, I made two different packs. Artistic style and realistic style. Both of them contain 200 images of various drivers, so you have a lot of variety. And they're AI generated. I know AI is a bit controversial, so I'm just going to upload them to my Patreon. I can't be bothered figuring out which sites allow them or not. But again, I don't claim any ownership over this. I'm not making any profit over this. I'm just going to upload them so that you can make your career better. This folder, generic drivers, you can put anything in here that you like. Any image dropped in here will be used in the app seamlessly. I am releasing these packs to give you guys something to get started with. I'm sure some people will make something else eventually. This is entirely up to you guys. Now, I believe this covers mostly everything that has to be seen in this. Like I said, the beta is going to go out as I am posting this video. So if you're seeing this, the beta is out there available on my Patreon. This is going to be a longer beta than usual because this is a brand new app. It's coded entirely from scratch. We're testing everything. There's going to be bugs. There's going to be a lot of bugs. Okay, let's just be clear. This is completely new. Some stuff is going to be broken. So I am expecting this beta to take close to a month, I would say, to be confident. So I'm gonna get started to work on the tutorial videos on modding guides, getting started, everything. I know some of you guys have said before that these kind of blog videos that I'm making are kind of long, and learning how to use the app through them is not exactly efficient. And I agree. So I'm going to make a series of short tutorials on how to get the app working. And those are going to be all you need to understand everything about this. So I am going to be putting this live right as this video goes up. You guys enjoy this app. If you have any questions, any bug, please report them either on Patreon or in Discord or anywhere where I'm going to be able to see it. You need to report the bugs. You are not being annoying, okay? You are not being annoying. I want to know what's bugged so I can fix it. All right, so you guys enjoy the app. I am going to see you guys next time around. Bye-bye.